Howdy everybody, it's patch time. And it did hit 22 heroes like they said on the Reddit. So let's dive in. I haven't read this yet, so we're gonna read it together. Blaze is up first. There's a Valeera in here too. Let's see. Endurance Stim Pack, increased shield amount. Neural Stim Pack, reduced cooldown. Grill and kill damage up. Adhesive petroleum, slow increased. Okay, so what's happening at 7 that makes people not do those things? So far, Blaze is just looking like talent incentivization. Crossfire. The one with the lane clear, the one with the hero damage, hitting both streams. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Nanomachine coding, duration increased. 3 seconds. 13. Fuel leak. Well, I guess you're really competing with fuel leak there. Okay. While it is in a relatively good place, many of Blaze's talents tiers have 1 or 2 talents that are heavily picked over the third. We're trying to shore up the alternative picks to be more competitive, which should lead to more unique ways to play the Fire Bat. Sure, fine. Yeah, that's fine. May, Snowblind. Slow and blind duration increased from 1.5 to 1.75. Okay. What's Johanna's blind duration? What is Johanna's basic blind duration? 1. Oh, we're overlapping Johanna now. Interesting. Well, in a first pick Tychus world, more blinds are good. All right, here's the talent stuff. Heavy packed. Cooldown reduction increased. Additional functionality. Each time Blizzard damaged an enemy hero, gain 3 mana. Was she having mana issues? Ice Storm bonus final stun damage increased. Okay. So the thing about May. At level 1 here, Heat Transfer is how you take care of yourself and stacks with later talents. Ice Storm is your lane cleared talent. And Heavy Packed nobody does at the moment, because there's not enough reward and her base kit is fine. So will we see more into like Slush Ball and Fresh Powder to make me want to do Heavy Packed? Slush Ball. Okay, damage increased. Cold Front. Adjusted functionality. Reduced the cooldown of icing by 4 seconds if May enters her own blizzard while icing is active. The cooldown of icing is reduced by 5 seconds, and she gains 80 mana. What's different? What was the previous version of that? Well, let's go to a website that has been updated because this patch is brand spanking new and find out. I've heard that this cold front is actually very popular in the CCL because it allows you to just have, well, more uptime. Cooldown of icing is reduced by 8 seconds. She gains 70 mana. Enters her own blizzard. So they've added more words? Reduce the cooldown of icing by 4 seconds. Oh, so you don't have to enter your own blizzard to get the cooldown reduction, and it's no longer 8, it's 5. So you actually have a better cooldown reduction if you can pull it off. But if you don't pull it off, which is a little hard to do, they decided that that's not the end of the world now, and you don't get nothing for your trouble. Ice Wall, cooldown reduced. 20 seconds off that, mana cost. Okay, so my Ice Wall incentivization. And Flurry, cooldown reduction increased from 100% to 125. May has a few talents. Haven't been seeing much in the tank meta recently. So we're giving her some buffs, particularly to various talents that aren't seeing as much play as they should. Okay, so a theme here. Talent incentivization. Is that what we're doing all day? Mech health reduced on Diva. That's fine. Damage increased on Bunny Hop by a pretty substantial amount. Survives too many situations. Too tanky. We think she's a little too beefy. They really drove that home with their developer comment there. Who can disagree? It's Diva. When she lives, it's frustrating, and she doesn't die much. Fine. Cool. Gazlow. Explodium charge damage reduced. Okay. Gravel Bomb. Damage reduced. Oh, okay. Superior schematics. Bonus range reduced. This would be my talent that allows me to attack further, right? My forced superior schematics. 30% increased attack range. Okay, so they were just too far. The range was too big, and they wanted to get it away. Here's the Hogger stuff. Health reduced. Good. Loot horde meat duration reduced. Okay, so making them harder to play. Journeyman cooking is up. On the prow, cooldown reduced. So we're just competing with our level 1 talents like bones to gnaw on, which is very, very powerful. I'm just jumping back here to make sure they don't just talk in the background the whole time. Brute force. Hitting enemy hero terrain. These are really, that's just a hard talent to pull off. A lot of these ones stacking in general for Hogger. Aggro range. Non-heroic enemies reduced. Oh, wait, hang on. This is actually kind of a big deal, right? This would be the spin talent, yes. Radius by 25%, and each enemy hit generates rage. Increase to 2 against heroes. So we're down to 2 from 3. It's going to be hard to not want it, though, because you go into this so long, particularly on something like Infernal Shrines, where you're bouncing around for fun, or even a boss pad where you're getting weird on it, like what happens on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So it's hard to pass up, because if you don't have full rage when you enter Hog Wild, you don't feel like you're doing a lot in the first place. So if you generate rage while you're doing it, you kind of compensate for the thing that's not happening in the first place. Tough sell, tough sell. Seeing red, attack speed, loot fire, or garbage fire, duration, cooldown reduction reduced. So we're with main talent builds being attacked, and they're trying to get the other ones back up. Hortipult, cooldown increased. Wait, what? Cooldown. Hortipult. The one everybody uses, not Shockwave. Right. Okay. Cooldown increased from 50 to 60. Okay. Damage reduced from 140 to 100. Yeah, good. Primary stun of Shockwave, though, increased from... Okay, so we're up to 1.5. Primary damage increased. Secondary damage increased. Hortipult still helps you escape and helps you engage, so I don't think anyone's going to change their mind about Hogger really fast. Dust Devil, problem talent for sure. Armor bonus when below 50% rage, reduced by 10, and when above 50% rage, reduced by 10. Cool. Perfect. Hogger's release has been incredibly interesting. He started low, but his win rate has climbed significantly, while perceptions of his potential power also continue to improve. We're looking to do a mix of buffs and nerfs to help him largely address looming talent issues, while also keeping his overall power in check. Fair. I don't see his utility and what he wants to get up to changing, though, with this. So we'll still see him first ban material in CCL and probably high-level hero Storm League? That makes sense. I agree with what I just said. Imperious. Impaling Light. Damage bonus per Valor. Brand reduce? Oh. Yeah, okay. So they're not so much maybe going after Flash of Anger anymore. Yes, we're done with Flash of Anger. Now it's time to attack the other aspects of Imperious's Q build. And we're going to start by messing with the damage on Impaling Light. Sovereign's Armor. Armor amount reduced. Oh, I like that talent. It's easier to use. Angelic Armaments. Shield amount reduced. Hey. Alright. I'm for... Yeah. That's a lot of shielding. Angel of Valor was shrugging off enemy damage too easily while dishing out too much of his own. And the other bruisers were getting jealous. Bruisers, man. Bruiser creep is intense in this game right now. If people don't want to tank, it's kind of becoming a bit of a problem. The bruisers have so many tools. People enjoy playing them way more, so they become more adept at them. They become more adaptable. Their hero pools are larger. Anyways, what's your tank players picking? They got, like, Emergency Muradins, which are your, like, Lilies. You got people who play ETC because they have to. Johanna's continually talk about how bored they are. And then there's Diablo, who I just love to heck and back and will always play. But that's what's keeping the tank dream alive right now. Bruisers are sneaking in. They got all the cool lane clears. They do good damage. They got constant reworks, it feels like, anyway. Something needs to happen. And maybe nerfing bruisers is the right way to go about it, but that doesn't fix the other issue with the tanks not feeling so cool. Ragnaros Shifting Meteor. That's interesting, a Ragnaros. Yeah, actually, you know... When was the last Ragnaros buff? It's had to have been a while. Has to be. But, you know, that's still tiny. But that's not forever ago. 2020. Okay. Shifting Meteor damage up. Molten Power, new functionality. If a living meteor hits an enemy here at least 5 times, then reduce the cooldown by 7 seconds and refund 30 mana. What was it previously? Let's find out. A living meteor build is kind of a cool idea. I'm just happy Blast Wave's good because Blast Wave's super easy to do. And Q build has to stack, which makes it kind of frustrating, but still really easy to do. Each enemy hero hit by a living meteor increases the damage of your next living meteor. So we get more meteors more often and refund some mana, which I guess with this kind of pokey build, you'd have some mana issues, perhaps, that give you more charges of spell block, which would be good for quick matchy sort of things. And you would complete your Shifting Meteor quest faster. And since the damage on that is better than it was, this overall build is now better thanks to Molten Power reducing your cooldowns. We didn't love how Molten Power's strength was offered in an upcoming cast after meeting its condition. That's fair. Actually, that's great. That's fabulous. Who wants to wait? Let's have power now. Power's fun, and I want it on this current cast I'm doing. Anduin. Light of Storm, an additional functionality. If Holy Word Salvation lasts its full duration, then reduce the cooldown by 60 seconds. Whoa. 60 seconds. I guess in the league game, yeah. It's got competition, for sure. People like this Varian's Legacy for funsies. Second charge of Faith is fabulous. So what's my cooldown base? The 20 seconds is a long time at level 20, though. That's still pretty neat. But that's additional functionality. So what's it supporting now? Grants allied heroes invulnerable instead of protected. But this does not affect Anduin. Okay. That's neat. Desperate Prayer, cooldown reduced. Sure, if you wanna work that hard. Ariel, Heavy Burden. Just the functionality, Detangement Strike slows enemy heroes for 20% for 2.5 seconds. Slow and duration doubled on enemies it stuns. Well, we gotta go back again. We gotta see what was it previously. Heavy Burden, huh? This is up against Repeat Offense and even Majestic Span, which is a pretty good quick match talent if you need lane clear, which doesn't feel great, but it's okay. Movement speed slowed by 50% for 3 seconds after the stun. 20 second. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, so if you don't hit the stun, you get something. That's a pattern. It's a bit of a pattern I'm seeing. If you don't hit the thing, you get a thing anyway. Or you get your reward more immediate. I think that's a really nice update to the game. Safety Dust. Increase Pixie Dust's duration by 1 second. Soothing Mist and Blink heal allies with a active Pixie Dust. Why are we changing the way the heal works? Was it all healing? Was it a double support problem? Because we got Blink heal and... Oh, they don't want me doing healing with my phase shift anymore. We liked how Safety Dust boosted all Brightwing's healing tools. However, its healing was overflowing when compared to phase shift and hyper shift, and not in a way we considered exciting. We believe this change keeps the core of what makes Safety Dust fun. Oh, man, that's a pretty big blow. What you do is you would throw out your dust, giving them increased healing received. Heals allies with pixie dust for 75% more. And then you would use your phase shift to land on top of them. And even though it was a percent-based heal, it was a percent of a percent now, and it was pretty damn massive. And you could pop up a tank like nobody's business. It was ancestral-sized. And so they're getting rid of that? But it still has blink heal? Oh, this is a really positive comment for a pretty big blow. But I absolutely understand it. Deckard's more NATOs, additional functionality, adds another charge. That's more NATOs. Tough competition. You got Respect the Elderly. Respect the Elderly is pretty rockin' too. Like, if you haven't felt this thing where you are silenced and blinded for 3 seconds upon waking up from sleep, it sucks. It is great. And you got Bottomless Flask and Perfect Gems. So yeah, you gotta really go crazy with the more NATOs. It's a pretty good pile of Lucio changes. Good vibrations, shields, boombox no longer has a duration. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. High five! The lowest pick rate heroic in the game, according to what I've clicked around and seen. 1.2% of people pick high five. Cooldown increased. Mana cost reduced. Okay, what's the fun? Additional functionality. Heals Lucio for 125 and grants him unstoppable for 1 second. Additional functionality to quickly skate to an ally hero upon arrival, heal them, heal yourself, and both gain unstoppable. I don't think so.
Everything's moving so fast, it feels like I'm standing still.
I guess. I guess if you're into so much C, because this has a 1 second load up. So you're fighting so much CC that Lucio can't possibly, within 1 second, drop a sound barrier. So you say, okay, I'm going to skate through Malfurion roots. I'm going to save my allies in situations like maybe a Kel'Thuzad. But why wouldn't you shield through that, right? Like, it sounds like harder work. I get the idea. Because if they're in that dangerous CC situation, now Lucio Unstoppable could go in there and do something about it. But it just sounds hard. Or did they make a new Brightwing that's buzzing around and teleporting to everybody? How many charges of this do you get? Do you have more than one? 20 seconds per ally with a mana cost. So you can make it around all your various allies and give them a high five. It could be interesting. That sounds like something I would be like, no way. And then CCL tournament players all go nuts for it. So maybe. Up to 11, no longer an activatable ability. Summer Anthem, cooldown reduced. Additional functionality now also affects Lucio. Affects him with what now?
Looking at you.
Activate for all allies affected by crossfade to become unkillable for 1.5 seconds. Oh. That now affects Lucio seems so casual. Like what? A healing? A bit of shielding? No, unkillable's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Did they do anything for mixing fire? Okay. No longer increases the duration of amped up by 1 second. Additional functionality reduce the cost and cooldown of high five by 50%. That is my primary concern with high five. Because we got 100 mana for sound barrier. We have 5 allies, which means we're at 150 if we were to actually, well, I guess you can't high five yourself. I mean, in real life, but so 120. I do foresee this being available so frequently that you actually run out of mana, and that becomes an issue. We're interested to see how our change to high 5 works on Help Lucia with his ability to keep himself and his teammates alive. Stukov nerf, I assume. Fetid touch, number of enemy heroes hit by the final quest completement reduce. Okay. Cooldown increased on reactivatable or reactive ballisto spores. If you're not familiar with this talent, it's kind of a big deal right now. So reactive ballisto spores, when taking damage below 50% health, instantly spread a weighted pustule to all nearby enemy heroes and reset the cooldown of bio kill switch. So Stukov is being run as a double support off tank, where basically Stukov runs around in the front line getting big meaty hands in, and then upon taking the damage below 50% health, can pop himself back almost instantly up to full, while also spreading around the weighted pustules and doing a massive amount of control. So any sort of effect to this is a pretty big deal. So cooldown up by 10 seconds means less Stukov tanking, which was a cool idea, but not executable by, most people at home. Low blow threshold increased. That's nice, to 50%. That's pretty cool. Biotic armor. Armor amount reduced from 15 to 10. That stinks, but it's not horrible because we still have the pop, which increases bonus to 75. So it's still good for the pop when Zuljin's locked on, but, you're not chilling with 10 armor all the time. Physical armor, anyway. That's fair. It hungers. Number of enemy heroes hit required reduced. Cool. I'm fine with that. This is just kind of sad because it was really neat, and we didn't really at home get a lot of time to play with it, but I absolutely understand why that's got to go. Kerrigan, Queen of Blade. Oh, well, okay. Damage bonus increased. Ravage cooldown reduction increased. We were too scared of Queen of Blades being too powerful when we redesigned the talent, so we're tuning it up to be better match of our original version. This should enable her to clear waves much more effectively or efficiently, while also allowing her Ravage to be up more often. I do not know much about Kerrigan, so I should just move on real quick, but I'm a curious person. So we got Bladed Momentum, Boundless Fury, and reduce the cooldown of Ravage by 3 seconds and increase the damage to minions and mercenaries. But not monsters. So no Infernal Shrinesiness there. Valeera. Sinister Strike, base cost reduced. Relentless Strikes, Thistle Tea, cooldown reduced by, 20 seconds. Adrenaline Rush, Smoke Bomb, armor increased. Valeera feels too good to play with a low-cost Sinister Strike. Removing some of Relentless Strike's benefit baseline and helping out some weaker talents. So they're agreeing with themselves, right? Valeera feels too good to play with low-cost Sinister Strikes. That's usually where the comment goes, so we're nerfing her, blah, blah, blah. But no, they're just saying it feels real good. Feels good. Feels good. Cassia, basic attack damage reduced. Ouch. 5, but still, that's a lot of her damage. She is a basic attacker with, I've heard it said, with good, or incidentally good spell damage. Lightning Fury damage reduced. Fen damage reduced. Those are all pretty big deals altogether. Wow. Cassie is slightly overperforming at a 53% win rate and seeing a high amount of participation. We're slightly reducing her baseline numbers to bring her more in line. 53% doesn't sound awful, but she's absolutely bringing home some massive numbers. Phoenix. Inhibiting energy. No longer requires the primary target to be slow. Part of Phase Bomb's charm is that it deals splash damage, opening up possibilities for who Phoenix targets. This charge realigns inability to that philosophy. Sure. I'm scared to say anything. Phoenixes are really religious about their talent build, so I don't think this changes anything for them, but I could be wrong. Gul'dan. Horrify. Horrify can no longer be interrupted and put in 10-second cooldown if Gul'dan is stunned while it's being cast. We're changing Horrify to no longer be able to be interrupted during its cast. It was never intended to have a long cast time, and due to its unique setup, We had a lot of bug reports over the years due to being interrupted and people being put on 10-second cooldown. But its sound still goes off. That sounds... that sounds like a complaint. That sounds like people... I've of course heard it interrupted, and you hear the and the horrifyingness. But I didn't... That was rewarding. You heard the noise, it didn't happen, and you went, oh, we did it. That's like the beginning of Mosh Pit, and the rest of the thing doesn't happen. But, hey, this might just be to reduce load on the people having to deal with the bug reports, so they get actually good bug reports. Either way, that's a decent little buff to Gul'dan for how often I do see it interrupted. Probably at least once every 2 Gul'dan matches, just by accident. Twin Spheres. Gain all level 7 talent. Oh, a Kael'thas buff. Empowering abilities is fun, but we feel Twin Spheres struggled to pack a punch it needed to compete as a level 16 talent. We hope this provides the power it needs, while retaining its flexibility in choosing which ability empowers. Well, what are the Kael'thas level 7 talents then? That's really neat. Twin Spheres is a part of this Pyroblasty, Felon Fusion-y, sort of mana tappy, but not required, Sunfire enchantment thing, where you go for the spell power, and then you end up casting a bigger Pyroblast, and Twin Spheres helps you get all that spell power. But now you get Wait, hang on. Oh, it doesn't matter. If I pick Sunfire enchantment here because I want empowered Pyroblast later, it doesn't matter if I pick Twin Spheres later because I'd get Sunfire enchantment earlier. So I could say in this early game, I would like to go Burned Flesh. Why not? That seems more important to me in the early game. But later on, I would like to have Sun Fury's enchantment. Sunfire's enchantment. Sun King's Fury is about the bomb spreads, which wouldn't be that big of a surprise. But I could turn around in the late game and say I wanted Burned Flesh by skipping out on Ignite and Fury of the Sunwell. That's fair. You know what? With the amount of people who play almost a purely Ignite style, and Fury of the Sunwell just being a great, oh my goodness, I need lane clear, oh my god, I'm in such a tough situation, I'm going to be going Flamethrower and just try to salvage this game. At least that's how I use it. Or commonly take it. That's okay. Yeah, that's sane. Scary, but sane. I think that's fine. That's really neat. Good on them for taking that big chance. A calculated risk. Nazebo, Guardian Toads, additional functionality. Hitting enemy heroes with Plague Toads grants 30 armor. Hitting enemy heroes with Plague Toads. Oh, I hit them with the Plague Toads. Not that they already have Plague Toads on them. Stacking up to 4 times. I can't have that much armor. I'm guessing the duration stacks? That's actually kind of confusing. Oop, Tychus. Pardon me, Tychus. Let's see if we can figure this out. Granted 30 armor, stacking up to 4 times. So do I get longer armor or more armor? In which case, it's probably the longer armor because it wouldn't make sense that I have armor forever. Or a butt ton of armor. What would that be? 90, 120 armor? That doesn't exist.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Go Toads. Oh, yeah. It's resetting the duration and increasing the duration. Wait, no? Is it increasing the duration or just resetting it? Excuse me, guys. Actually, if I go 2 charges, let's toggle cooldowns here and see what happens. So it's just longer armor. Stacking up to 4 seconds, not 4 times. Okay, I'm great at reading. Tychus. Quarterback. There we go. Bonus damage reduced. That's fair. Getting people to play W build. Overbuff quarterback. Yeah, that's fine. Tychus is in a very universal spot. I honestly expected greater nerfs to him. But quarterback is just a great way to say, like, I early picked Tychus, but this isn't really a Tychus situation anymore. I'm going to do a grenade build, so I'm nice and safe, and I have lane clear. And in the late game, I'll do Titan Grenade, and it's just going to be great, because I don't feel like I'll get to auto-attack anyway. And if I can't auto-attack, I'll go Odin. And then I'll do Big Red Button later on, so I'm basically not Tychus in the first place. Zuljin. Wow, this is pretty lengthy. Recklessness, basic attack damage bonus reduced. Okay. Additional functionality while below 50% health. Basic attacks against heroes grant an additional stack of U1 axe. What was the problem with recklessness? What was the problem? I always see Headhunter, so I'm not seeing a problem that needed fixing, or maybe it was having stack issues. Vicious Assault, damage bonus increased. Slow duration increased for Lacerate, Ensnare, cooldown reduced. If no heroes are hit, reduce the cooldown to 10 seconds. Wow, that's kind. No Mercy. Basic attacks against enemy heroes marked with Grievous Throw deal an additional 2% their max health as damage. Oh, look at that. He got sort of a giant killer. So this is the one that just ignores all armor. And now you have a giant killer with him. Well, okay. Okay. Gary's really dangerous on Zuljin because you really can't hang out near him because you're going to get tossed and you're very immobile. But still neat. Let the killing begin. Wrong place, wrong time are also great talents. So I see why they buffed that. Lightly tuning to level out Zuljin's talent tiers gave us an opportunity for some extra love. It's hard to feel recklessness benefits as Zuljin's health lowers, so extra crest credit might help it get noticed. So it's a feeling thing. The consistency of Eye of Zuljin was hard to beat at level 13. Yes, that is amazing. So we've targeted these changes to help Lacerate and Snare be more reliable. We're comfortable with No Mercy being a more niche option in response to the enemy hero composition, but it wasn't as strong as it should be even in those situations. Wrath of Cod now properly follows dot rules, which I believe was that you would take damage and it would dismount you, and normal dots didn't dismount you. And that's everything. I should develop some sort of tier system. Or some sort of critique for this video. Like, was this a fun patch? There's some cute stuff in it. I like the Kael'thas thing a lot. That's a really cool idea. Without having to change the level 7 talents, that's super duper cool. The Brightwing thing is a bummer. Stukov thing is a bummer, but perfectly understandable, right? Perfectly understandable, but just a huge blow to something that felt very creative to do. And that creativity was taken away, which definitely makes it feel like an unfun patch. It was a nerf patch, for sure. But I really like some of the ideas they went for in here, and I'd love to see more of it. I'd love to see more things like this. Get something when you mess it up, but you still get even more if you can pull off the thing. That would be a really great opportunity to incentivize some talents in the future. That's a new style, something they really haven't done much in the past. Or at least when it comes to updating heroes. I think this Ragnaros thing is cute. I love this idea about the reward being more immediate, or you feel the reward more often. You get to cast sooner rather than having your later cast much down the road be more powerful. That just feels good. There's some cool stuff in here, like the Holy Word Salvation, that probably won't affect things because a team fight's a team fight at level 20, and people are going to die or win in that 20-second window. You're not probably going to get a second chance to cast Light of Stormwind. Though I guess you could say, like, hey everybody, let's heal. Okay, objectives coming up. Let's do it again. And that'd be kind of cute. That's an idea. So you know what? I'm impressed by the ideas, but content-wise, I think we lost some cool things. So if out of 10, I give this patch 6. I think it's a 6. I really wanted to see some thrilling stuff happen for melee assassins, bruiser control, and some tank funsies be passed around. But I really like the ideas in here. Philosophy-wise, it's like an 8 or a 9. What do you guys think? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see y'all soon.